Hi all, my name is Bianca.
And my name's Yvonne.
And I'm Armina.
And we're members of DivestBU, here to talk about divestment and our correspondence with the BU administration, specifically with Chairman Kenneth Feld.
So join us for a cup of coffee.
Or tea, if that's your
Don't say it.
cup of tea.
Alright, let's bring you up to date with DivestBU.
Over the past 4 months, DivestBU has engaged in correspondence with a few members of the BU administration, including President Brown, Chairman Kenneth Feld, and Dean Elmore.
So it all started last semester when the Board of Trustees released their decision on fossil fuel divestment. Their decision was based on a recommendation by the Advisory Committee on Socially Responsible Investing, or ACSRI, a committee made up of students, professors, and administrators.
The ACSRI spent a year researching and developing a recommendation that BU divest from coal and tar sands companies, and divest from companies that continue to explore for new fossil fuel reserves.
They also recommended BU develop a climate action plan in an effort to improve sustainability and employ managers in their endowment office who specialize in renewable energy sources and technologies.
The board endorsed the climate action plan, mentioned they already employ managers specializing in renewable energy, and unfortunately the board partially adopted the first recommendation. They agreed to divest on a best efforts basis from the coal and tar sands companies, which is great, but not enough.
Because we want the board to adopt all of the recommendations put forth by the ACSRI, we submitted a pledge for reconsideration of fossil fuel divestment to President Brown and the Board of Trustees last December.
Eventually, President Brown responded to our petition and argued that BU shouldn't take strong political positions as a university because it stifles freedom of inquiry.
As well, he argued that the November presidential election outcome, and thus the introduction of climate deniers in high positions of our government, is not grounds for reconsideration of divestment by Boston University, and that consumer choices are the key to lowering the world's use of fossil fuels.
We exchanged a few letters with President Brown, and also we tried to set up an in-person meeting with him, but he refused to meet with us. We actually visited his office every day for over a month to try and set up a meeting and discuss this in person, but he refused every single time.
So after this failed dialogue with President Brown, we thought maybe talking to the board directly might be a good way to have our voices be heard. So we sent a letter to the chairman of the board, Kenneth Feld. He replied a few weeks later, and we want to release his response.
In our letter, we summarize some of the consequences of climate change, underlying the harmful ties the fossil fuel industry has to the U.S. government, and address some of President Brown's concerns with divestment. We argued that inaction on divestment, keeping these investments intact, is just as strong of a political statement as divesting is. We asked the board to reconsider their decision at the next meeting.
So let's take a look at Feld's response, shall we?
We shall. So, first of all, Feld said that President Brown has kept us informed about your appeals to him.
Well, good. That's his job. It's his job to communicate between the BU community and the Board of Trustees.
And yet Brown refuses to meet with us.
So, in the next part of the letter, Chairman Feld mentions that President Brown has kept us informed about your appeals to him. The board has fully endorsed his responses.
We think this shows a lack of commitment from the Board of Trustees, since they're willing to endorse Brown's weak argumentation against divestment.
So for example, President Brown has brought up fiduciary responsibility as a reason against divestment, thinking that divestment will harm the financial returns of the endowment. But in our research, we have found that fossil-free funds perform just as well as investments in fossil fuel companies, and that fossil-free funds are a good investment into our future.
He ends his letter by saying that BU has obligations as an institution chartered to serve charitable societal purposes. How ironic.
Divestment's purpose is to discredit the fossil fuel industry, to stand up and say that perpetuating climate change is not okay because of the health and human rights infringements that are happening to the people and the world as a whole. How is that not a charitable societal purpose?
Feld ended his letter by stating that the board will not revisit divestment until the board is committed to review the issues of climate change and the university's response at the 5-year mark, the promise that the board made in its original divestment decision letter.
While this may seem reasonable at a surface level, let's take a closer look. The 5-year designation ensures that the average student attending BU for 4 years will have graduated by the time the board reevaluates their decision.
Seems like another attempt to shut students out of the conversation.
Not to mention, we've had record snowfall and record heat waves in the last 3 years. Climate change isn't waiting 5 years, and this is an issue we need to address now. 5 years may be too late.
So now you're all up to date.
Unsatisfied with Feld's response?
Yeah, so are we.
So if you want to read all of our correspondence with the administration, including all of our letters to President Brown and his responses, visit our website, DivestBU.com. There's a whole page dedicated just to this.
Come help us fight for divestment and a just and stable future. We meet every Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. in the Center for Gender, Sexuality, and Activism.
In the basement of the GSU.
And we have a really fun street theater skit planned for the week of April 24th on the VU Beach. Make sure to RSVP on our Facebook event page.
Be there! Be square!